Hi, I'm Karen Rogers. Welcome back. It's time for video number 42, and today we'll talk about jellyfish. Jellyfish are fascinating. Do you think I kind of look like a jellyfish with my tentacles? They are 95% water, but they have been around for over 500 million years, and they can mess you up. Perhaps you know somebody who's been stung by a jellyfish. Well, let's talk about jellyfish. First things first is jellyfish aren't fish. They don't have bones. Here's a picture of a jellyfish. They are basically a couple layers of tissue, but mostly water. Some people say that they just call them jellies to avoid confusion. They're not fish. Fish have bones. All right, let's talk about animal classification. The first group is sponges. They are the most simple multicellular animal. They're just a couple of tissues and they don't have any advanced organs. And they're similar to the jellyfish, only they're sessile. The sponges sit on the ground, whereas the jellyfish are free swimming. Now, jellyfish belong to the next group up, and that group is called cnidarians. It's spelled with a C, but the C is silent. Cnidarians include jellyfish, coral, and hydra, and others, but those are the most popular. Now, corals are similar to sponges. They're like this shape, and the jellyfish are in this shape. They call that the medusa. But you see how they're similar? All right, that's a little bit about the classification. The cnidarians don't have, and specifically the jellyfish, they don't have any major organs, but they do have what's called a net nervous system that allows them to propel themselves through the water. All right, the jellyfish are famous for their tentacles, and the tentacles can sting. They have specialized cells that will inject venom into their prey or into their enemies. Some people say if you get stung by a jellyfish to pee on it. Others say that's not such a good idea. The main thing is you want to remove all the pieces of the jellyfish and rinse it down and treat it as you would other stings. The other thing that jellyfish are famous for is their ability to glow in the dark. It's called bioluminescence. There are several animals that can glow in the dark. Can you think of a few? Well, scientists have isolated the gene. What basically happens in the case of bioluminescence is there is a chemical reaction that allows the light to show. Well, scientists have taken this gene from the jellyfish. It's called the GFP, green fluorescent protein. They've taken that gene and they can put it into the embryos of other animals, and then those animals that are now called transgenic animals have the ability to glow in the dark, or you glow under a certain light. But here's some examples of transgenic animals. They even did it once with a rabbit, but that was pretty controversial. All right, when they all get together, jellyfish can detect light, and they'll come to the surface and they'll get together and mate. Have you ever wondered how jellyfish reproduce? They can reproduce two different ways. They can reproduce by simply regeneration. Lots of simple animals, if you rip them apart, like certain worms and sponges and jellyfish and starfish, they can regenerate on their own. But they can also mix genes, which is important in biology. Here's a picture of jellyfish reproduction. They will come to the surface of the water and they release sperm and egg cells. They combine in the water and form these, what's called a planula. They're like little babies. The planula then goes to the bottom and forms a polyp. The polyp sits on the bottom and then it produces new jellyfish, and this is like the immature form, and it's a free swimmer that eventually becomes an adult jellyfish, and the whole process starts all over again. Now, jellyfish, they will eat basically dissolved nutrients that are in the ocean. When they sting the fish, they don't eat it. The fish dissolves, and then they get the nutrients across the body by diffusion. That's also how they do gas exchanges, by diffusion. Remember, they're not real complex. There are some animals that eat jellyfish. That includes sea turtles, sharks, and some fish. And in some countries, humans eat jellyfish. It takes a little work to prepare them properly, but apparently they make a very good appetizer. Let's wrap up this video, and I will finish with two things. Number one is that jellyfish are often an environmental indicator. That means if there is an overabundance of jellyfish, that could mean that the environment is a little bit out of whack. The second thing to finish this video is, of course, a joke. The joke is, what is a sea turtle's favorite sandwich? A peanut butter and jellyfish. I'm Karen Rogers. Thank you for watching. I educate, motivate, entertain, and I'll see you next time.